Hi everyone, welcome to today's social studies lesson. Our topic is the importance of marriage as a social institution in Ghana. Marriage is not just about two people falling in love. It's one of the most important parts of society. It brings families together, strengthens communities, and ensures that values like love, respect, and unity are passed on. By the end of this lesson, you will understand what marriage means, the different types we have in Ghana, why it's important, what causes some marriages to break, and how they can be sustained. Let's begin. Before we talk about marriage, let's first understand what a social institution is. A social institution is a system that organizes society and guides people's behavior. It helps us live together in an orderly and peaceful way. Social institutions make sure we have rules, values, and traditions that keep the community stable. Examples of social institutions include the family, marriage, religion, education, and government. Each of these plays an important role in shaping how we think, behave, and interact with others. So, marriage is one of the key institutions that holds our society together, and that's what we are going to explore next. Now, let's talk about marriage itself. Marriage is a social and legal union between two adults, recognized by the family, the community, religious institutions, and the state. In Ghana, marriage is more than just a personal decision. It's a sacred bond that joins not only two individuals, but also their families. When two people marry, it's seen as the beginning of a new family unit, one that continues the values, traditions, and heritage of both families. That's why marriage ceremonies in Ghana are filled with customs, prayers, and blessings. They represent unity, love, and commitment. So, marriage is not just a private affair. It's a social institution that connects people, families, and the whole community. Now that we know what marriage means, let's see why it's called a social institution. Marriage is very important in society. It's like a guidebook for how people live together. These rules come from laws, customs, and culture. For example, many societies believe that marriage is the proper way to start a family and raise children. As a social institution, marriage helps to keep peace and promote strong values such as love, unity, respect, and responsibility. It teaches couples how to live in harmony and support each other. Think about this. What would happen if no one respected marriage or family life? Yes, we would have confusion, conflict, and a breakdown of moral values. That's why we say marriage is the most important building block of society. In Ghana, there are three main types of marriage. We have 1. Customary marriage, 2. Ordinance marriage, and 3. Islamic marriage. Each type follows different traditions, but they all serve one purpose: to unite families and strengthen society. Now, let's go through them one by one. Let's begin with customary marriage. This type of marriage is deeply rooted in our traditional customs and is mainly based on family consent and cultural practice. It involves a series of rites and ceremonies that unite not only two individuals, but also two families. That's why when you attend a traditional wedding, you see both families playing an active role. It's not just about the couple. Customary marriage is also recognized by Ghanaian law, which means it's legally accepted. Let's look at some key features of customary marriage. Family agreement. Both families meet and agree that the marriage should take place. Bride price and gifts. The groom's family presents a dowry and gifts to the bride's family. These items show respect, love, and appreciation. Traditional ceremony. Elders bless the union, prayers are offered, and rituals are performed to make the marriage official. So, customary marriage represents our culture, our family values, and our way of honoring relationships. Now let's move to the second type of marriage in Ghana, the ordinance marriage. This kind of marriage is a Christian or civil ceremony that takes place under state law. It's what we call a legal marriage because it must follow government rules and be officially registered. Here's a quick question. Where do most ordinance marriages take place? In the family compound or in a church or court? The correct answer is in a church or court. Go through some features of ordinance marriage. It is conducted under state law known as the marriage ordinance. It usually happens in a court or church environment. It is monogamous, meaning one man and one woman only. It must be officially registered and ends with a marriage certificate. For example, when a couple weds in church, signs their certificate and registers their marriage at the district court, that is an ordinance marriage. So you see, this type of marriage shows the legal commitment of two people under the laws of Ghana. The third type is the Islamic marriage, also called nikah. This form of marriage is based on Islamic law or Sharia and is usually conducted by an imam or a qualified religious leader. Here's a quick question before we continue. Is nikah conducted by a traditional elder or by an imam? That's right, by an imam is correct. Let's look at its main features. 1. Mutual consent. Both the man and the woman must agree clearly to the marriage. 2. Mahr payment. The husband gives a dowry or gift to the bride as a sign of respect and responsibility. 3. Witnesses. There must be at least 2 Muslim witnesses present. 4. Guardian, wali. The bride's father or guardian must be there to ensure everything is done properly. Here's a follow-up question. Can Islamic marriage be both monogamous and polygamous? If you said yes, you are absolutely right. A man may marry up to 4 wives, but only if he can treat them all equally and fairly. Islamic marriage therefore stresses faith, consent, and responsibility, key values for strong families in the Muslim community. Let's pause for a quick recap before we move on. Question time. How many types of marriage did we learn about in Ghana? The correct answer is 3. And can you name them? Yes, we have customary marriage, ordinance marriage, and Islamic marriage. Well done, you're absolutely right. These 3 forms show how our different cultures and religions express the same values: love, commitment, and unity. Now that we understand the types of marriage, let's talk about why marriage is important, especially for individuals. Marriage gives people love and companionship. It creates a deep emotional connection and a lifelong partnership. Think about it. Having someone who supports you through life's ups and downs makes a big difference. It also provides a stable home, a safe and secure environment for raising children. If you said it helps children grow up in peace and care, you are right on track. Another reason is mutual support. Married partners share their emotions, money, and time. They help each other through challenges. Finally, marriage encourages shared responsibility. Both partners learn to respect one another, stay committed, and take care of their home together. So, to sum up, love, stability, support, and responsibility. Those are the big four benefits marriage gives to individuals. Marriage doesn't just help individuals, it also benefits the whole society. Let's think about it. When families are stable, children are cared for, and homes are peaceful, what happens to the community? Exactly, the society becomes stronger. Here are a few key points. Child protection. Marriage provides a safe home for children to grow, learn, and receive proper care and education. It promotes good behavior and discipline. Married couples become role models for younger people. Marriage connects families, builds unity, and reduces conflict in society. You might have seen how communities come together during weddings. That's a great example of social bonding. Stable families help reduce issues like streetism, crime, and prostitution. Question: why do you think many cultures consider marriage such an important step in life? Think about it carefully. If you said because marriage builds families, teaches values, and keeps the community stable, you are spot on. Remember, marriage is not just a personal decision. It's one of the strongest foundations of society. Now let's talk about something serious. Broken marriages. What do you think a broken marriage means? If you said it's when a marriage fails or no longer works as it should, that's correct. A broken marriage can happen in many ways: emotional distance, constant conflict, or legal separation and divorce. When that happens, both the couple and their families are affected. So, a broken marriage simply means the relationship has lost its peace, love, and understanding. Let's explore some personal causes, reasons that come from within the couple themselves. First, unfaithfulness. What happens when one partner breaks trust in a marriage? Exactly, it causes pain, anger, and loss of confidence. That's why honesty and loyalty are so important. Second, poor communication. When couples stop talking or hide their feelings, misunderstandings grow. And third, domestic violence. This includes physical, emotional, or verbal abuse. Violence breaks the love and safety that marriage is supposed to bring. So, unfaithfulness, poor communication, and violence are three major personal causes of broken marriages. Now let's talk about external causes, things outside the couple's control that can affect the marriage. Here's a question: can money problems cause conflict in a marriage? Yes. Financial pressure like poverty or job loss can lead to arguments and stress. Next, childlessness. Some couples face pressure from society or family when they can't have children. That can bring emotional pain or even lead to separation. And finally, cultural or religious conflicts. When partners come from different traditions or beliefs, disagreements may arise. These differences can cause tension. So, external causes like money problems, childlessness, and cultural conflict can all put strain on marriages. When marriages break down, the effects are often serious, especially on children and families. What happens when only one parent is left to raise the children? It becomes difficult emotionally and financially. That's what single parenting is. One parent struggles to fill the role of both mother and father. Another effect is educational problems. Children from broken homes may skip school, perform poorly, or even drop out. We also see teenage pregnancy, when young people lack guidance and attention at home. So, broken marriages can lead to single parenting, poor education, and teenage pregnancy, all of which weaken families and society. Let's look at a few more. Some children tend to bad habits like drugs or alcohol when their parents separate. That's what substance abuse is about. It's one of the major effects of broken homes. Next, peer pressure. When children don't get attention at home because of a broken marriage, they may start following the wrong friends. That often leads to poor decisions. Then we have emotional trauma. Children from broken homes may feel lonely, abandoned, or unloved. Broken marriages affect both the mind and behavior of children, leading to problems in school and in life. Let's look at the last set of effects. These are the effects of broken homes on society. The first is, it leads to social problems like crime and violence. We call this increased social vices. Another effect is weakened family values. When children grow up without discipline or role models, respect and moral guidance begin to fade. And finally, economic instability. When one household becomes broken, income drops and families struggle financially. That's why broken marriages don't only hurt people, they also affect the economy. So, when we protect families, we are not just protecting individuals, we are protecting our entire society. Alright, how do we sustain marriages? Sustaining a marriage means making constant effort to keep it strong, loving, and peaceful. What do you think helps couples stay together? Yes, they must communicate very often, freely, and trust each other. Let's go to 4 key ways couples can sustain their marriage. 1. Open communication. Couples must talk honestly, share ideas, and listen to each other. 2. Faithfulness and trust. Being loyal builds peace and respect in the home. 3. Counseling and prayer. Couples should seek both spiritual and professional help when challenges arise. 4. Shared responsibilities. Both partners should work together, cleaning, caring for children, and supporting each other. Sustaining a marriage means teamwork, honesty, and continuous love. Here's how society can also help couples sustain their marriages. First, religious institutions. Churches and mosques can organize premarital and marriage counseling sessions to guide couples. Second, the government has a role. It should protect family rights, inheritance, and child welfare. Third, families can offer mediation and advice. Elders should use their experience to help resolve conflicts. And finally, the media can promote positive family values by sharing good examples and discouraging bad behavior on the radio and TV. We've come to the end of our lesson on marriage as a social institution. We've learned that marriage is more than a ceremony or a contract. It's a cherished tradition and social institution that brings people and families together. It helps maintain stability in society, and it passes on important cultural and moral values. Marriages can also face challenges like communication breakdowns or unfaithfulness, but with understanding, commitment, and support, couples can overcome them. To summarize, strong marriages create strong families. Strong families build strong communities, and strong communities lead to a peaceful and united Ghana. That's the true power of marriage as a social institution. Thank you for joining this lesson on the importance of marriage as a social institution in Ghana. If you enjoyed it, make sure to share your thoughts in class, ask your teacher questions, and keep learning about how society works. See you in the next lesson, and as always, keep learning, keep growing, and all the best.